Hello guys, what's going on? It's LewisThePen here and I'm back with another Clash of Clans video. So in today's video, we're going to explore the differences between max bases, engineered bases and 0.5 bases. So we're going to start off, this is a 0.5 base and this is actually a 9.11 base. Now what that means is the first number is how it weighs on defense. So because this base has no Inferno towers and no Eagle artillery, we class it as a Town Hall 9. And on offense, it has a Warden, and it has max Town Hall 11 troops, so it's an 11 on offense. That's why we call it a 9.11. So let's have a look at a different base. Now this base, as you see here, is a 10.11. This is because it's got no Eagle artillery, but it does have Inferno towers, and it also has a Warden. So it's Town Hall 10 on defense and Town Hall 11 on offense. That means it mirrors Town Hall 10s in war, and it can attack Town Hall 11s. This is also known as a 10.5, but it's up to you which you use. Now as you see here, this base is a 8.5. It has Town Hall 8 defenses because there's no expos, and it has a queen, so it's Town Hall 9 on offense. So you can call it an 8.9 or an 8.5. Most people call it an 8.5 because it's halfway between Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 8, but it's up to you what you call it. So now we know what 0.5 bases are. Now we're going to look at max bases. Now everyone knows what a max base is. It's with max defense, max offense, max heroes, walls, everything maxed. Upgraded everything you can in the game. Now these match other max bases, so it's an even playing field with these bases. Now we're going to look at engineered bases. Now these are my favourite out of the three because they just look so cool. So look, we have 4 defences in this base, 2 cannons, 1 arch tower and a mortar, and it matches like Town Hall 7s or maybe even lower, and it has max Town Hall 11 troops and max heroes basically. So it can 3-star Town Hall 11s and it mirrors Town Hall 7s. So that's just, it's so crazy. It's so broken because if you have 5 or 6 of these in a clan and it's a 10v10, then it's kind of stupid because you match like Town Hall 8s or 7s and you could 3-star Town Hall 11s. So now guys, we're going to go through the advantages and disadvantages of all 3 of these different types of bases. So the advantages of engineered bases, which is what you can see on the screen now, is they mirror really low town halls in war, and they can 3-star top town halls. The disadvantage is they can get 3-starred really easily because they have like no defense. But another advantage is these guys can get a 6-star wall so easily, considering they'll be attacking Town Hall 8s and 7s. And the enemy team might struggle a little bit to 3-star these guys because they have max CCs, so they can hold lava hounds or loads of balloons, and they have max heroes, so it'll be hard to kill them. Now guys, the advantages of max bases is you're 100% max, so you're the strongest defense you can be in the whole game. You have the max level troops and the max level heroes for everything, so you're the strongest offense you can be. So it really depends on your skill if you 3-star them or they 3-star you. And it depends on your base design. Whereas with engineered bases, it doesn't really matter what your base design is because you're going to get 3-starred anyway. Now with 0.5 bases, these are the easiest to do in my opinion because you don't need to upgrade everything. You can only upgrade those things you want to focus on for war, and also you can farm your heroes, and also you can protect your loot, whereas engineered bases always get 3-starred in multiplayer battles. You can protect your loot in here and protect your dark elixir to upgrade your heroes more and easier. Certain types of 0.5 bases are more overpowered than others. For example, 8.5 isn't as overpowered as a 8.11. Due to it being Town Hall 8 on defense and Town Hall 11 on offense would be better than Town Hall 8 on defense and Town Hall 9 on offense. I personally recommend doing 0.5 if you're working to next Town Hall. I did that for my Town Hall 11 and I'm still currently doing that. I'm at 10.5, I have Town Hall 10 defense and a Town Hall 11 offense. So I can attack Town Hall 11s in war and I match Town Hall 10s on defense. So it's pretty good. It definitely really helps you get ready for the next Town Hall level. So I already have max war troops. It really depends on your playstyle. Do you want to attack Town Hall 11s with Town Hall 10 level troops, or do you want to work yourself up to attack Town Hall 11s with max troops? What I'm currently doing with my Town Hall 11 is I'm maxing out my Town Hall 10.5. So I'm maxing out all my troops, all my spells, my heroes and walls. And then I will drop the new defense levels and new Eagle artillery. So I'm completely ready to attack max Town Hall 11s in war. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you and you understand a little bit better on what the 3 different types of bases are. And if you meet them in war, then you understand why they're doing it. Personally, if you're going to be doing a 0.5, I recommend 10.5. It's the strongest out of the 3 because you get a Warden. And it's the most beneficial when attacking Town Hall 11s considering they're really hard to 3-star. Engineered is probably my favourite, like I said, out of the three, because you could just get a massive advantage in war and really help the clan. However, everyone has a different playstyle, so it's up to you. Just decide what you want to do and then work for it. It's up to you guys.